Like Alejandro Rojo and John Reese will speak after me, I was born abroad and did not move to this country until I was 12. Thanks to a solid education, I was able to secure a position with a Boston-based strategy consulting firm called the Parthenon Group upon graduating from Amherst. And while I made the rookie mistake of ordering a Coke in front of a Pepsi executive, there are a number of Parthenon people here. I don't think I ever admitted that to you guys, but it's been a couple years, right, folks? The firm was kind enough to keep me around for a few years. And during my tenure, I learned about strategy development, financial analysis, and a number of other topics that have been critical to the successful establishment of Excel. But at the most fundamental level, what I learned is that when there is a seriously big strategic issue, what's often necessary is a solution that's at the least unconventional, sometimes unorthodox, and occasionally audacious. Like so many urban communities across the country, the neighborhoods of East Boston and Chelsea have been facing a dire problem. Drugs, gangs, and violence have become commonplace among youth, and low expectations has become the accepted norm in many of the local public schools, and college matriculation has become the exception. So in creating a school with the explicit goal of destroying this paradigm, we've developed solutions that are at the least unconventional, sometimes unorthodox, and occasionally audacious. So first, we had the unconventional idea of opening a school next to a Brooks Pharmacy in the former loan processing center for the East Boston Savings Bank. In fact, the CEO who recently toured the school told us that one of our classrooms, Hamilton 8, used to be his office. We've ignored the convention of most schools by requiring our students to be at school for 8 to 10 hours a day. And every 8th grade student, many of whom learn Spanish before English, read, write, and talk about high school level texts, including The Great Gatsby. And though a little unorthodox, we all walk around wearing stopwatches, timing everything, including how quickly students put away their materials, so we can ensure and maximize learning time. And I would not be surprised if there's a staff member in the crowd right now, Ms. Folk back there, who's probably timing me as we speak. We take our 6th grade students to colleges so they can see why they're working so hard. And while our students may have been complimented at their previous schools for just getting some of their homework done, at Excel they stay an extra hour at school if they forget to circle one answer on an otherwise perfectly completed math assignment. While we hold students to unbelievably high expectations, we also support them in any way possible. For example, when a student was recently faced with having to move from East Boston to Somerville because of a family issue, the Dean of Students proposed the unconventional idea of picking up and dropping off the student himself every single day. So as a result, we've added to his business card the title chauffeur. Our Dean of Students and every other adult at Excel has made a conscious choice to work harder than in a typical school because we see the direct impact that our work is making on the trajectories of our students' futures. But at the core, each and every adult working at Excel is driven by the audacious rejection of what has sadly become an accepted assumption in this country. That if you're from a lower income family, or if you're Latino or African American, that you're not going to have the same level of academic success as your wealthier or Caucasian peers. Quite the contrary, we steadfastly believe and have been able to prove over the course of the past 4 years that there is absolutely no inherent correlation between academic potential and ethnicity or socioeconomic status. Last year, which was only our third year of operation, our first group of 8th graders, including John over here, was ranked 14th out of 277 Massachusetts school districts on the Math MCAS, and 17th out of 277 districts on the English MCAS. As a result, our students outscored many of the wealthiest districts in the state, including Newton and Weston. So while this is just a hypothesis, folks, we at Excel believe that the real estate market has softened in Newton and Weston because everyone's moving out of Newton and Weston to move to East Boston so they can attend Excel. Though our work is sometimes grueling and always challenging, we are energized by the individual stories of the Alejandras and Johns, who without our support would likely not have the skills nor the self-confidence necessary to strive for higher education. But we're not so naive to believe that impacting the lives of a few individual students is enough. We're strategically working towards systematic change, and we're starting to see the fruits of our efforts. For example, a few district public schools in Massachusetts, including the local East Boston Middle School, have recently adopted longer school days. It's clear that the successes of the longer school day instituted by Excel and other like-minded schools have had some impact on this decision. And more broadly, we're part of a small but growing network of systems-driven, no-excuses urban public schools that are in constant communication with each other in an effort to improve our own schools while developing a systematic solution to our nation's urban public education crisis. Excel is now one of the highest performing middle schools in Massachusetts. And just a few weeks ago, the Center for Education Reform named Excel Academy one of the nation's charter schools of the year, thus placing us on the national educational map. While conventional thinking would assume that we'd be satisfied with these successes, we are not. We are audacious enough to believe that there's more we can do to help our students escape the paradigm of low expectations and to support them on their journey to higher education. In order for us to achieve this goal, we need a better facility, more resources, more faculty, and this is where you all come into play. Yes, this means that we need your financial support. We also need you to tutor our students. We need you to help our students with their high school applications. And we need you to tell our students about the doors that open for you because of your college education. I hope you join us in our efforts to make higher education the destination for every single one of our students. Because bottom line, we need you. Thank you. I now have the great pleasure of introducing John Ruiz, who is a member of Excel Academy's inaugural 8th grade graduating class. So please join me in welcoming him with a big round of applause.